I flew 18 hours to attend my brother's wedding. At the venue, my parents stopped me. Only family is allowed. You weren't invited. Leave. Heartbroken. I left 3 days later. Mom called. The bill is $38,000. How will you pay? I laughed and said something. Mom gasped. I flew 18 hours from Singapore to New York. My back was stiff. My eyes were bloodshot, but I was smiling. My little brother Leo was getting married, and I wasn't going to miss it for the world. I had saved for months to afford the last-minute flight and a bespoke suit. I wanted to surprise them. When I arrived at the luxury estate venue, the gardens were beautiful, filled with laughter and jazz music. I walked up to the entrance, garment bag in hand, ready to see my family. Instead, I was met by my parents. My mother looked at my suit, then at my face. There was no hug, no smile. Her expression turned instantly cold. My dad stepped forward, putting a hand on my chest, physically blocking the doorway. "What are you doing here, Ethan?" he asked, his voice a sharp whisper. "I came for Leo's wedding," I said, confused. "I wanted to surprise you guys." "You shouldn't have come," my mother said coldly. "Only family is allowed. You weren't invited. Leave." The words hit me like a physical blow. "What do you mean? I'm his brother. I'm your son." "Leo's new in-laws are old money, Ethan," my dad muttered, looking around nervously. "They are high society people. Look at you. You're just a struggling freelance designer. You don't fit the image we are presenting. You'll embarrass us. Please, just leave before anyone sees you." My mother nodded in agreement. "We told everyone you couldn't make it because of work. Don't ruin this for your brother." I looked past them and saw Leo inside, laughing with men in tuxedos. He looked right at me through the glass. He didn't wave. He didn't move. He just looked away. He knew. They all knew. My chest tightened so hard I could barely breathe. Tears stung my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. "Okay," I said quietly. I turned around and walked away. I didn't cause a scene. I didn't scream. I went to a cheap motel, ordered a bottle of whiskey, and sat in the dark. The heartbreak was suffocating. For years I had been the scapegoat, always pushed aside while Leo was hampered. But this was a new level of cruelty. They discarded me like trash to impress strangers. As the night went on, the sadness hardened into something else. Cold, calculated anger. I remembered something they had forgotten. 3 days passed. I stayed in New York waiting. On the 4th morning, my phone rang. It was my mother. I answered, keeping my voice completely flat. "Hello? Ethan, thank God," she gasped, sounding completely panicked. "We have a massive crisis. The venue just processed the final charges, and the catering bill is bounced. The total remaining bill is $38,000. How will you pay it? We need you to transfer the funds immediately. The coordinator is threatening to call the police for fraud." I took a slow sip of my coffee. I almost smiled. "Why would I pay for a wedding I wasn't invited to?" I asked smoothly. "Stop playing games," she snapped. "You know your dad and I used your name to open the event credit line back when you lived with us. The secondary card is under your account. We put the deposit on it, but the final balance just hit. You have to clear it." Years ago, when I started my business, my dad helped me set up a high-limit business credit profile. They kept a secondary card for emergencies. They thought they could use it to fund Leo's dream wedding and forced me to swallow the debt to keep the peace. They thought I was weak. "Mom," I said, my voice dropping an octave, dead calm. "Did you forget what I do for a living?" "What are you talking about?" she demanded. "I am a freelance designer, remember? The one who doesn't fit your high society image." I paused, letting the silence stretch. The moment I walked away from that venue, I opened my banking app. I reported that secondary card as stolen. I flagged every single pending charge from that venue as unauthorized fraudulent activity. My mother gasped so hard she choked. You did what?" I told the fraud department that my identity was compromised by family members. I said, each word dripping with ice. I provided them with the text messages from Dad last year admitting he kept the card. Right now the bank is reversing the funds. The venue isn't getting paid, and since it's technically identity theft, the bank is filing a police report against whoever signed the final venue contract. "Ethan, please," she screamed, her voice cracking. "Your father signed it. He will go to jail. Leo's in-laws will find out. This will ruin our lives. Only family is allowed, Mom," I whispered into the phone, "and you said it yourself. I'm not family. Good luck." I hung up, blocked their numbers, and booked a first-class flight back home.